It has been almost a month since Springfield City Council approved a contract with NAPA Auto Parts. The nearly $3.8 million deal is supposed to save the city money, but now questions as to whether that contract should stand. ABC News Channel 20's Kimberly Howard is live outside the city's new consolidated garage with a look at what the problem is. Kimberly.
Maggie, this is the ordinance city leaders signed before the agreement was approved. Now, it basically says that the city didn't need to go through the competitive bidding process that they usually do because of a co-op that exists between a government purchasing agency in another state. Now, it's uncertain whether that co-op actually exists, and if it does, whether the relationship with that co-op can actually supersede city rules.
Our intent is not to deceive anybody. Our intent is to save the taxpayers of Springfield a lot of money.
By contracting with NAPA Auto Parts to set up shop in the city's new consolidated garage, Alderman Frank Edwards says City Council approved the NAPA contract based on a purchasing agreement they were told the state has with the National Joint Powers Alliance, or NJPA, in Minnesota.
Well, now we find out that link wasn't there.
Edwards says that changes everything.
The premise for the vote was based on how we got there. And now that's not there, so I believe your vote's null and void.
City Attorney Todd Greenberg declined a request for an on-camera interview and instead issued a statement saying, in part, city staff has filed a Freedom of Information request with the state of Illinois to either confirm or dispel any uncertainty regarding the relationship between the state of Illinois and NJPA. However, even if it is determined that the city staff was in error in assuming that the state of Illinois has an intergovernmental agreement with NJPA, it does not change the fact that the City Council legally approved the NAPA contract. Budget Director Bill McCarty agrees.
They gave tacit approval of waiving the competitive sealed bidding process for this particular contract.
McCarty says if the city has to backtrack and open the bidding process to other companies, it's going to waste taxpayers' money.
If we have to go to an RFP, then we've delayed this process of implementation of the consolidation, and we continue to forego savings each and every week.
But Edwards says that's a price that will have to be paid if the city's corporation council didn't oversee the process the right way the first time around.
Because now what you're saying is, whatever you can tell the city council to get them vote for a project, you can tell them and it doesn't matter, and then we vote and you go, well, you voted on it, that makes it legal.
Alderman Joe McMenamin takes these questions a step further. He tells us that even if the relationship between Illinois and Minnesota exists, is that enough to forgo the competitive bidding process? He says the only times you can legally avoid that is if your agreement is federally based or based in the state of Illinois. Live in Springfield, Kimberly Howard, ABC News Channel 20.
All right, Kimberly, thank you so much for that report. The city officials had hoped to have NAPA Auto Parts in place inside the city's new garage by the summer. But should this contract have to be held and rebid, that could push the start date to the fall.